Hello everyone, thanks to the power of the internet, I get to talk with you all, and today, I've gone over my thoughts, I've had some pretty good deck construction ideas, and today, we're going to talk about one who guides towards paradise, Nannaclir. Now, I actually really enjoy this card. While a lot of people find this deck boring and couldn't do a lot, I think there's promise, and just because it's simple doesn't mean it's bad. I think this card is getting a lot more slack because of the recent news that these two orders were being Zorga restricted, and this was before Nannaclear's release. So I think a lot of expectations were put onto the card unnecessarily because, like, oh, Nannaclear's the reason these things are being changed. I think Bushiroad just wanted to have even future development room. Not to say that these wouldn't be bad in Nannaclir, I'm just saying, just because they got hit doesn't mean we should hold Nannaclir responsible for it and look at it objectively, because I think this is fun. Because going over the abilities in the continuous, if you have 3 or more rearguards with one who arrived at paradise, those are always going to be a mouthful. In their card names, your world becomes Stray Garden, and outside of the DZ1 staple, drive +1, but in this case, she gets the triple drive ability exactly, so elementary users, you can be content. I also think it's fun that outside of Orifice, another card is getting their own type of world, and I like this because she's kind of a fae and one who guides towards a paradise. You know, all the support is around one who arrived at paradise, so I think it's really fun and cool that she's getting a world to reflect that namesake and lore-wise. Her once per turn act ability is once again something akin to Shoujo Doji, Lukier, Energy Blast 3, meaning that's where your energy per turn is going to. Look at top 5, choose one, call it a rear, but hey, if it's a unit card, put it to hand, but if it's specifically the order, name-locked order, we'll show it later, you can add that to hand, and then shuffle your deck, and if you called a unit with one who arrived at paradise, it gets an additional 5k, meaning you can still call generics off of this, it just won't get the additional power. Now, on Vanguard, auto, when it attacks, CB1, restand the rearguard. That's pretty cool. I know it's a bit, this is the reason why it's kind of boring, that it's just a triple drive that says CB1 stand. But honestly, I think a lot can be done with this, and we can have some good support around this. Going more off of it, the ride line, they're just goobers. I love them so much. He's just a squishy little lizard fae. When he's rode upon by Nannaclir, you can call him to rear, and then put a card from drop into soul. Pretty cool. If you didn't call a card, you draw one instead. I think that's fair. So if you decide to go for an early game rush mentality and you don't have room for him, or you don't want to replace something for him, just draw a card. I think that's fair. Also, if you are in Stray Garden, which can be a little difficult to achieve sometimes, especially in heavy retire metas, he gets boost in 5k power. So being a 15k booster, not too bad. We have a grade 1 that looks like a Sylvanhorn Beast, not going to lie. When it's rode upon by the grade 2, you call this and soul charge 1. Hey, guess what? It also is 5k if it's Stray Garden. Who could have guessed that one? Of course, we go to the best Bean Boy. I love him so much. He's a D starter. If you're going second, you draw a card. And also something that Destined Ones and Beyond are trying to do for their Vanguards, and giving them a grade 3 order. Why? I couldn't tell you, but this one's pretty cool. Albloom in Paradise Seed Mile Fete. I pronounce that so terribly, but it's Gaelic for, 100 million welcomes, which I think is cool. Once again, going for that Fae mentality, and I want a lot more to go towards this. There's a little bit to be desired from the order, and I'll tell you. You can only play this with Nannaclir. Who could have guessed it's her order? But you only get to choose one of these effects. Choose one card, one who arrived at Paradise. From your drop, call it a rear. So it's a revive. Or choose one of your rear guards with, who could have guessed, one who arrived at Paradise in its card name. Once per turn, when it stands, if you have Stray Garden, crit 5k. This is possibly one of the reasons people will point at least Nectar, because that's just power corrupt Nectar on that effect, because it's like, hey, I already have a crit, but plus 15 instead. I don't see a reason why you should choose one or the other, because you're already paying a CB to stand something. 5k and a crit isn't so impactful to the fact that Strojas, if you remember Mothman, can do both on one order, but in fact, you play 2 orders per turn, so not only are you getting more power, you're also getting the crit and the revive. Though there is a really fun auto effect that's detached from all of this. When this card is revealed from your hand by a Paradise ability, you can reveal it and draw an additional card. So technically by revealing this, you're deck thinging again. Yeah, it could be a trigger this order again, but hey. I think it's just a fun little engine to get you some things back. Going over the support, it looks like Granthia grew this for Nannaclir, and I love this little vegetable child. It's very simple. Anytime you can retire this, choose your grade 3 order from drop, and you can play it from drop and it would bot deck itself. That's good. But also, it's just another 8k booster continuously, because when something stands in front of it, if you're in Stray Garden, you stand this as well. Those aren't the worst in the world. There's no cost associated to this, and it's a once per turn, but it's not like you're getting to stand multiple units in your battle phase anyway. So it's just a fun little recursion. So, not the worst card in the world. Then we get a Ferret. This one, its first ability confuses me a little bit, but I like the trade-off. If you have a grade 3 with Nannaclir, you got Stray Garden, this thing gets 5k power. Okay. Well, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard, and you're not in Stray Garden, it gets 5k shield. Sure. Okay. So it's either hit strong or be 10k shield. I would have preferred that as long as you had Nannaclir, it got 5k for both, considering this is a double rare. So that's the one that confuses me a little bit, but I like the differences between in-world, not-world effects, so we can see if they develop that further, or this thing just kind of got shafted. But it also has another rearguard effect. End of turn, if you're in Stray Garden, you can put this in Soul and draw a card. Last but not least, we got a Leaves Feather Dragon. I've seen a few different readings on this effect. I'm just going to have the one I have on my side. So take with grain of salt until we get an official English card. When this card is placed on rearguard, other than during battle, CB1 top, look at top 3 cards. Choose one card with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, reveal it, call it to rear. If it is a unit card, or put it into your hand if it is Owl Bloom in Paradise, your grade 3 order. And of course, shuffle your deck. However, if you are in Stray Garden, you get to look at top 7 instead of 3. That's actually a pretty cool thing. I would have preferred top 5 originally, and getting a little bit more if you're in Stray Garden, but hey, beggars cannot be choosers. So basically, I think when you are grade 3, you can search out the order. If you are playing this on grade 2, you do not. Don't quote me on that. I've yet to know, because of how many different versions of this thing I've read and discussed with people. I'm the most confused about him. If you happen to know, please tell me. Also, just as a side note, when it attacks, if you're in Stray Garden, Soul Blast 1, it gets 10k. That's cool because you can Stray Garden when your opponent's grade 2, meaning this thing is a 20k attacker that can restand, because if you note, Nannaclir isn't grade restricted. You can just, if you have this, CB attack. Just double checking that, because I've been wrong before. Nope, when this unit attacks CB1, choose one of your regards and stand it. So you can continue with that beatdown. Now, I want to do a small shout out, because I know this little one is watching my content, because I'm a grade A yapper. Hi Azim, this is your deck list. I liked it so much, I'm showing it off. Be embarrassed. Do it. I'm just doing this because it just shows some good generics to go off of. This is a 7 front build. I appreciate that, considering you restand, and your other side just kind of lacks a little bit. We got the grade 3 OT Recycler. It soul charges a little bit and gives power. I appreciate Fire Regalia because, while we don't discard, it is free discard fodder that lets us call off of top. And as you note, we want to be in Stray Garden as much as humanly possible. So, getting more units isn't too bad. I enjoy Margaret because there is a small world where you are paying the CB cost after a Persona ride to make sure your opponent can't intercept nor stand their front rear guards. Then, of course, we have Grade 1 Dragon. This one I'm not so much a fan of, but the anime showed it, so kind of based. Look at top card, you can discard it. Or I think you must discard it. I'm not going to read it, but the more important thing is you energy blast to recover whatever you ditch for ride. I love the little inclusion of Philander, because you're searching out for the cabbage to immediately discard because it has the ability from drop. Yeah. Or at least to search it, put things in soul, whatever. Some other cards you could possibly run. Oh, I forgot Tideline. We have Alvina. This is another thing that can use your energy, but basically it's just a revive or getting your order back if you do not see the cabbage. There is the downside, though, that this is tied to Energy 3. We do not have an Energy Charger, meaning if you are going first, you get the 1 activation of her. Or the Grade 1 Dragon. Previously mentioned to get 1 thing back because you are constantly probably going to be looking at the top card of your deck to call off of Nannaclir. If you are not, you can then do this. It is up to you how you spend that 3 energy. This is just a really good generic to throw in any Stoicheia deck. You do not need the soul, but it is there if you need it. This is more for getting tokens on the board for either an early game rush or just there for boosters. Mythiarch, because once again, you just want to call more specifically, what are they? One who arrived at Paradise to always be in your world. Sadly, you can't reveal the order to draw off of that. It was shown in the anime, and I forgot to put it here. God damn it, it's 2 different words. We have Tideline Dragon. Why? Because if you Persona Road, you have Abundance of Soul to pay for this cost. You choose a unit to give it 10, and then he gets 10. That's cool. Girl was cooking. There are some other ones we can include, not mentioned in Decklog yet, but at the time of upload, Skyride 2 will be out. introducing Depland's Midith. This is finally Stoicheia's default. When this unit is placed on rear, other than by a unit's ability, if you played a normal order, so something you can immediately call off of Nannaclir, the Order, or Mythiarch. Hey, if you played Mythiarch, or hey, the grade 3 order this deck does to revive her from drop, Soul Blast, like I just said, we got plenty of soul. Top 5, get another card and call it a rear. And if it's a normal order, you can put it to hand. So this thing is kind of exactly what this deck needs. It has that weird Energy Blast 2 for its other effect, but this is also something, if you are running Margaret, to do with. When this unit attacks, if it was placed on rear from drop this turn, which you can do with the grade 3 order, which procs the first effect. EB2, very weird cost, will shut off a lot of things from your deck. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards until end of that turn. This unit cannot intercept and cannot stand during the stand phase. If your opponent's grade 3 or greater, this gets 5k. So just breaking this down just a little bit, that second effect does not have the tag once per turn. So you can do something incredibly cruel to your opponent. Let's just show it off. So if you have Persona Ride this turn, give me a second to get it. So if you Persona Ride, CB1 when you place this, your opponent's front row cannot stand nor intercept in the next stand phase. Well, if they have back row, you can do the same thing here. And if you didn't use Nannaclear's Energy Blast 3, and you decide to CB1 restand Meredith over here, and they have multiple back row, this was placed on rearguard from drop, which your order does do, EB2. I think that's an easy cost right now. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and until end of turn, can't intercept and can't stand. So, in theory, with these 2 cards and restanding ability, you can stun 4 cards. Mythiarch wishes. Mythiarch can actually do this. It uses less energy and can search it a little bit easier, because Mythiarch Habitat can just be slotted in anywhere. But hey, if you want it to be something a little funny and cruel, this is definitely the way to do it. There is also one other card coming soon to English. It's just the Ace card. I know it uses energy, but this thing is Mythiarch on a unit and is a once per turn 20k attacker. Please note, once again, you can't run all these energy blasters. Like, please, love of God, do not have, Alavina, Meredith, the Ace unit, taking this back up. Please don't have that grade 1 over there, because that's just too much energy. You're never going to have that much unless you're going second and never decide to use Nannaclir. But yeah, I think for a wave 1 of support, we have an interesting concept and nothing too broken. Like, one of my favorite decks is Direful Dolls, and all that does is goes guard from bind whenever you're attacked. This thing is, Nannaclir is also incredibly simple. It's just a continuous try to be in your world for power. Triple drive, restand 1. I mean, that's, you don't need more than that for wave 1 of support. Don't forget, this thing has just been revealed, is part of a main character deck. It's going to get support. Triple rares will be allocated to this deck. So for right now, I think we're in a good spot. We have the concept, we have goobers, we got a decent grade 3 order. I think this is the weakest part of the deck, honestly, just because it's one or the other. I feel like a way they can do this is when they release another order, just have a continuous that it counts as this, just so all the support doesn't have to be changed. you've got a 8k standard. This thing can be replaced soon, but it's either 5k or 5k shield, draw, top 3 or top 7 look, even though it's contesting your counter blast per turn, and there's no good counter charger, I should know. But more importantly, Soul Blast just 20k beater. Hey, look at it again. One last time, everyone. And of course, Stoicheia is a world that just has constant revival and some other good choices to help early game rushing. And we're finally getting our hands on something so crucial to Stoicheia. A T-Fault. Hold this thing. Cherish this thing. But yeah. Let me know what you think of the deck. Let me know if you were influenced by, the order changes when is looking at Nannaclir. Because at the moment, like I said, this deck is pretty alright. It's nothing going to be meta-defining right now, but it has room to grow, and it now doesn't have any limitations holding back future support. So once again, I look forward to the future of Nannaclir.